Okay, so what I've done is had about a handful again of green beans to help kickstart the alkalining process in your body and better nutrient uptake as well. So green beans, and they're full of really good stuff, green beans. So magnesium, folate, some vitamin E, some really good essential stuff that's so important. Alpha-bolic acids, I had one of them at the same time, so that's really good for helping insulin release. It's got really good antioxidants in there. So very good for the nervous system as well. So also then what I've got is a full tin, which is about sort of that size, of oysters. So oysters are good fats, a bit of iodine in there, which is good for you, for your thyroid, for your T3 and 4. Zinc, really good for you, which is in every cell of your body, which is so important for recovery and health. It's massive. Zinc and testosterone hormones, sperm, many other things. And iron is also in the oysters, which is massively really good. But too much iron can destroy your pancreas too, so you've got to be careful. So regular blood tests is always important. The black beans, so I've got a full tin of black beans in there. A lot of people probably won't need that, might be too much, but really good fibre, helps to just flush out toxins and waste that's in your intestinal tract that stores and just sticks to the side. Also, black beans is extremely good for helping to give you a healthy digestive tract, and actually helps to heal the villi and the microvilli that help to absorb and break down things in your intestinal tract. I've got in there a full tin of salmon, so I think it was about 250 odd grams, so it's not a massive tin. So for me, for my body size, but that's fine. And then with the beans in there for more protein, because I've looked at their amount with amino acids, that's really good. That's where you got to, some people need to be careful of is when you do vegan, like really paleo diets, so if they have no meats and all that stuff, and people are trying to build muscle, your IGF-1 for your liver for producing hormones and growth is actually going to be lower. So there are ways around it. I won't go into it too much, but some people, I mean, look, not going on a meat diet is actually extremely and really good for you. It depends on blood type and what's happened to you in your life. I mean, it's a great way to detoxify the body and make you really healthy, but amino acids have many beneficial good things for you, for brain function, for better muscular development and healing processes, wounds and all that. But all the amino acids, you can look into it and their function, you can see how important it is and why it's so important to have natural high doses of amino acids. Also, what I've done is actually had, a lot of people don't know this, so protein synthesis is a switch and it's either on or off, and you can have leucine to actually kickstart it. So I had my beans, and then I had the alpha-bolic acid, and about 10 minutes later I had leucine. So for most people, depending on muscle mass and body type, but a rough thing, anywhere from about 3 to about 10 grams of leucine it will help to kickstart it. Now you have to back that up with amino acids for repair and building muscle, because otherwise it can have on the back end effect, can actually give you some toxins build up. Because you're initiating something, it's going right, sweet, so I'm going to get more amino acids in there to do this job that it's asking me to do. I've switched on the car, but if there's nothing good in there, it's just going to do something on the back end which is not good. The other thing as well, so that's that. A lot of people, that's why a lot of people as well have the BCAA, so they've got leucine, isoleucine and valine in there. So that's very good for, because you need to back up the leucine essentially. So that's really good for recovery. So some people, what I do with some things is actually, I'll get, so say at midday, they'll have a protein-based meal, whether it's meats, chickens or eggs or tunas, and then maybe 3 hours later they'll actually have the BCAAs to supplement. So they get the healing process and no muscle breakdown. So that way they're not constantly putting meats and all that stuff in their body, because no one all the time wants to eat heavy stuff, and it requires a lot of energy to break down all that heavy food. That's what you've got to remember too. Heavy food requires a lot of energy for the body to break down, a lot of stomach acid, a lot of insulin. So minimizing that stuff can actually help with performance. But if you're a massive person with massive muscles, well, it's a little bit of a different story. And the body's not designed to build tremendous amounts of muscle. It can do it, and it will do it, but there are so many hundreds of thousands of variables to take into account for different people and body types and ages and what you're doing. So there's that. Sorry, I went on a bit with that. But the other thing as well, what I'm doing is, so I have a little bit, so I've got to be careful with this. I sometimes have histidine. So histidine is really good for also initiating the cell recovery in the body. But too much of it can actually cause a bit like of a reaction to your digestive tract and perform more of flushing nutrients out, which is what you don't really want at all. I mean, that's where you get your absorption, is through your intestinal tract, also your gut. But the histidine is very good for that, so initiating the cell recovery. But when you have it with zinc, it kind of, if you have too much of the histidine, it can inhibit the zinc take-up. So there's a balance there of how much to have. So, but I've been doing it, and I've only been having about just half a teaspoon of histidine at the same time as having leucine. And then when I go to have all this, it works extremely well. My recovery is better. I can feel it. It's tremendous, and that's what I'm striving for. So, sorry it was a long video, went on. But so greens for the alcohol. I'll say one other thing too, which is really good. You can actually spike, so insulin spike as well, is almost like a switch that turns on with every meal you have. So you get a better, insulin comes out, gets a better release, and can actually get a better circulation, because it's going, oh, there's some sugars in there, so I'll take that around through my muscular and skeletal system. So you can actually spike every single meal. It doesn't have to be a massive amount of sugar or carbs, it'll just be a little bit. So I tend to use sugar because it's more instant to the body. Like say about that much of banana, it'd be fine, something like that, or just half a handful of grapes, or not even that, just to kickstart that. So you could use those three things. So leucine for kickstarting your protein synthesis. You've then got histidine to help start cell regeneration. And what was the other one? There's so many things going on in my head. I've forgotten. So whatever the third one was. So that'll all help with performance and recovery. Give it a go, see what happens. Not everyone wants to do this, that's fine. It's just me giving you ideas and advice on what works and how it reacts to different things. So yeah, good luck, cheers.